Rent or buy? Most people think that they know the answer. But in today's market, most people are actually wrong. And if you are living in Chandler, considering renting or buying in Chandler, Arizona, this decision could cost you thousands of dollars if you get it wrong, if you make the wrong decision. So today, we are going to break down what's really happening in the rental market, both across Arizona and right here in Chandler. By the end of this video, you will have a much clearer idea of what actually makes sense for you, and hopefully that you can make the right decision whether you should buy or you should rent in Chandler, Arizona. With that, let's dive right into the information. So let's get started with the rental market across Arizona, right? So here what you see is actually the top chart is the active rental and the price per square foot in Arizona, the entire state from 2024 all the way until now. And the bottom is actually the closed rental. These are the ones that actually close and have the tenant in place. So the reason why I want to show you both active and closed rental chart is so that you can have the comparison between the supply active and the demand of the rental in today's market. What we see right now is a pretty balanced market. Rental listings actually have been declining over a couple months. Since last year of 2025, the amount of rental listing. So if you look at the bar chart, it's a little bit confusing, right? Don't worry about the line just yet. Look at the bar, and it has been consistently dropped since November of 2025, dropping from 6,000 in total to around, right now is around 4,000 available rental listing in today's market. But at the same time, rental, pretty much the same amount of properties that is getting rented, if not a little bit higher, right? Around 2,000, 2,100, 2,200 listing that property that get rented per month in Arizona. So the demand, we can say that the demand is still there. People not running away from rental. Have to say that it's a constant, very healthy amount of property get rented in Arizona. However, renters still have a good number of options to choose from. Obviously, 2,000 people per month rent a place, rent houses, but then there's even at the lowest now, right? There's about 2,000 property available for them to choose from. And because of this, rental price has remained relatively stable. As you see here, the dark line, very stable since September of 2025. Relatively, right, around 1.35 to 1.4 per square foot, right? Even though the seller is a little bit optimistic going to the spring of 2026, showing that when they put the house on for rent, it's going higher. But at the end, when they close, it's about pretty much the same. So overall, if you look at Arizona as a whole, the rental market look pretty normal. A very healthy demand, the good amount of, even though it is dropping amount of supply, but there's still plenty of houses for the tenants, for the renter to choose from. So now, let's zoom right into the Chandler market. Similar concept. The top chart is the active rental listing. The bottom chart is the closed rental, right? Notice that the scale level, the number of listing on here is maybe around 300 maximum. From now is 150 available homes for rent in Chandler, Arizona. So it's much less compared to the entire market, right? So because this is where the stories actually change to what we previously concluded. In Chandler, we're seeing this. The rental supply continued to decrease, and it dropped a lot. 3,000 right here, it dropped to, 300 right here, and it's dropped right now to 150. So it's very the same here, but the drop is more significant because this is only 1/3 of the drop, but this is 50% of the drop already. The demand relatively strong, not just in the last couple of months, but also in the previous year as well. So same situation, homes are still being rented at a very steady pace. And what that tells us is this: the rental market here is become more competitive, because look at this. On average, there's about 150 people that need home to rent in Chandler market since 2024 already, around that. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's higher, but it's pretty much around 150 people. Now, look at the supply. It has hit that number, 150 home available, and 150 people need places to rent. And that's exactly the reason why it's so competitive for the tenant nowadays in Chandler to find a property for rent. So even though there's still options, 150, the good home get taken very quickly, very competitive for the rental market right now. And I think that's also the reason why you see a lot of apartment complex getting built in Chandler, Arizona, or maybe around the Gilbert, Arizona as well. Because the big corporate, they see the potential of the renting market in Arizona. And that's the reason why they put a lot of money, put a lot of investment into Chandler, Arizona. So with this, that's actually a very good news for whoever own a home in Chandler, right? Even whether you're thinking about selling, or maybe you even thinking about buying, right? In Chandler, in the future, you can just put that property for rent, and there are people gonna be waiting to get the property right away, right? So that's actually very good news for homeowner. Something that we call is the adjustable interest rate. So in front of you right here is the comparison between the regular 30 years fixed rate blue line versus the 7-year adjustable rate. You see that overall the 7-year adjustable interest rate is lower than the 30 years fixed rate. As of right now, the 30 years fixed rate is about 6.45, but then you can get the adjustable rate as low as 6.05. And in some situations, you can get down to 3 as well. So this could be a good option for you. We have to analyze detail, because as you see, indicate in name, right? Adjustable. That means it will change in the future. Normally, it's gonna be the one that we are looking at is a 7-year adjustable rate. That means after 7 years, the interest rate will be adjusted. More detail will be discussed in the bio webinar. So if you're interested, check it out as well. But this could be one of the options if you worry about the interest rate is so high. The other option that you can do is the builder. They even go lower than this. Sometimes it's 4%, sometimes it's 4.25%. And by the way, we can also negotiate that to be even lower in some situation as well. But here's the key, right? Every option comes with a trade-offs. Adjustable loan may give you a lower payment upfront, but then the rate can adjust later. As I told you, 7 years, right? The new construction may offer lower rate, very low, but the price is gonna be often higher than the market, because you get that because it's a new house as well, right? So you have to pay a little bit premium in that. So pros and cons, everything we will discuss much more detail in the bio webinar. Let's come back to the market update in this, right? So what does that mean about the Chandler market, right? The rental is still the rental demand is still strong. The supply is getting less. So the competition is there for the tenant, which means the housing market here is still active, even if Arizona overall looks more balanced. When we have a healthy demand for the rent market, the buy and sell market generally not going to crash as well. So When it comes to the question about rent versus buy, right, it's not really about timing the market perfectly. It's about understanding your financial situation, your long-term goals, and what actually makes sense for you right now. And that's exactly why I put together the live bio webinar specifically for the people here in Arizona. In this webinar, we actually gonna break down what you can actually afford, how the buying process actually look, and what the strategy the buyers are using right now to make a smart decision and make it more affordable for them. So if you are currently renting, scan the QR code below on the left corner and you will be able to sign up for any of the available section completely free. Thank you so much.